How did our ancestors in Southampton make sense of the world? And for that matter, how do we? During the 16th and 17th centuries, England was at a height of a fervour surrounding magic and witchcraft. Records from this time, held in the city archives in combination with archaeological artefacts and graffiti, provide some intriguing glimpses of this bygone world. This was a time of huge change in both society and religion. The population was growing rapidly in England and the economy was struggling. Times were hard, and a particular group of very religious Puritans were particularly incensed in specific so-called crimes, including blasphemy, keeping an unlicensed brewery, and witchcraft. At this time, everybody would have accepted the power of magic and ritual. At Tudor House, we find incredible compass-drawn hex foil designs. These are sometimes known as ritual protection marks, or more commonly, witch marks. They were believed to ward off evil from a home and often seem to have been found by windows and doors, perhaps to keep the wicked things outside at bay. We know that until 1604, just to the east of the Bargate above the town ditches, was a ducking stool. It was used for ducking scolding women or evil living women in the ditch. The individual would be lowered into the filthy ditch in front of their fellow townspeople, who would also throw mud and rubbish at the person. In 1604, a local criminal court known as the Court Leet, which met on an ancient raised mound at the top of the common, suggested that a portable ducking stool be made to be carried from door to door as the scolds shall inhabit, so that they may receive punishment by them for the daily misdemeanours and scoldings as is fitting for them. These poor women would be fastened to the stool in front of their own homes, undoubtedly to be shamed and humiliated by their neighbours and onlookers. Who were the women being punished in this strange and humiliating way? Often older, usually widows, those women pushed to the edges of society by poverty or disability. What would happen if somebody was accused of being a witch? We know of this happening at least twice in Southampton. In 1579, a woman known to us as Widow Walker, though we don't know her first name, was accused of being a witch. The town authorities ordered that 5 or 6 honest matrons were to strip Widow Walker and examine her for any bloody mark on her body, which is a common token to know all witches by. We don't know what the outcome was, though there isn't any record of a subsequent trial. In September 1594, a man called William Hopgood from Swathling was examined about a charge of witchcraft against another widowed woman known as Widow Wells. He presented a story of Widow Wells coming to his door asking for bread over repeated days, always leaving empty-handed. On the 3rd day, she didn't return, but 5 or 6 healthy pigs suddenly began to behave in a strange manner, leaping and dancing as though they'd been bewitched. Within 2 hours, they were dead. He forbade her to return and accused her of being a witch. Widow Wells was not convicted, but nor did she return with her begging bowl. There are no actual records of convictions of witchcraft in Southampton. Perhaps that says something about people's thoughts about the true nature of witchcraft at the time. Elsewhere, executions did happen, but in England, witches were hanged rather than burned. In the city's incredible archaeology collection, there are a number of Bartman jugs. In the majority of cases, these were used to transport wine or other liquid. They were very popular. By 1600, as many as 100,000 were being imported into London every year. In addition to their more mundane uses, bottles like this have been discovered in other towns and cities buried underneath houses. They have been filled with strange contents, including fingernail clippings, human hair, iron nails, and human urine. a late 17th century remedy to cure victims of bewitchment was to ask the victim to urinate in a bottle, add 3 nails and some salt, and to keep it stoppered in the bottle. According to the recipe, the witch would then be grievously tormented, making their water with great difficulty, if any at all. By the end of the 17th century, the public obsession with witchcraft had waned, and by 1736, the laws against witchcraft had been repealed. The Enlightenment, the increased belief in the power of science and technology, took hold. And yet, perhaps, there is still something that draws us to the magic of the past.